to infinity and beyond.
Hello everybody, it's Roger and James here, founder of this gaming podcast. In this episode, again, a little bit more lighter today. We're just going to be talking about what we've been doing, what we've been playing the last week. And so I'm going to kick things off. First off, picked up a brand new iPad. I mentioned it on some of the podcasts this week, which kind of, I was getting very frustrated with the thing of there was all these new games and new content and I couldn't play them. And there are a load of games on there that, you know, sometimes the updates and stuff's like, okay, I'm just looking to see what's going on, what the update is. Maybe don't quite, you know, I've got 5 different Puzzle Quest games. I'm not going to play all of them, but there are some of them on there that I do want to play. Contest of Champions, Future Fight, you know, Emoji Blitz. See, some of these ones I want to do play a little bit more. So it's been quite nice this week. It's like jumping in, being able to play all this stuff, because it's amazing until you suddenly realize just how many games Disney have got out, when suddenly now I've got 4 pages of apps. And there's a lot of different kind of games out there.
And what's even more amazing is how many of those games are designed successfully to eat up tons of your time.
Yes.
It's Disney Magic Kingdoms, of course, is a really good example of that. I think Disney Emoji Blitz, if you go all in on that one, it wants you playing like 24/7.
Yeah,
but they have quite the collection.
Yes, and also just Kingdom Hearts Union is a game that I keep wanting to play, and I don't mind the little quests and how they do it. But I just couldn't fit it on my iPad because it was like 1.5 gigs. It's massive. So that is one game that I'm going to be kind of sliding into a little bit more while I've been playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 on the Vita on Remote Play, because I wanted to kind of get a little... It's kind of quite nice now, just feeling like... It feels like this massive, like... you can play all these different games of... Like, another game which I've been kind of enjoying this week was Spider-Man Unlimited. I've played it in the past, but again, that like endless runner. I'm looking at like these different games and like I want that different experience. You know, you want that kind of. I don't want to be playing, you know, Puzzle Droids, Marvel Puzzle Quest. You know, those too many of those kind of things. But it's nice to jump around a little bit and having some freedom. So it's kind of been nice this last, just being able to dabble a little bit. I haven't really got into too much because of the Lion King event that we talked about earlier this week.
Right. Yeah, of course, Disney Magic Kingdom was the main game that I was playing most of the week. But I also I downloaded Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes again and started playing that. I kind of got inspired by reading Inferno Squad. I wanted to get a little Star Wars action, and that seemed the best mobile game to do that with because I'm not a PvP gamer. It does have PvP in it, but it's asynchronous, so it doesn't really matter that much. And, I have fun with it. It's not a particularly great game, but it's also not a particularly bad game. There is definitely a massive grind to it, and I have no understanding of, like, which characters are good, which characters are bad, so I've just spent the entire week grabbing the characters from the TV show Rebels. I've built a squad around the Rebels. And to anyone watching who plays Galaxy of Heroes, yes, I completely understand that they are not a particularly great squad. They're not in the meta or whatever, but I don't care. I have fun playing with them. That's all that I'm looking for.
I think Galaxy of Heroes, I think I put in about 2 minutes this week because it's like, okay, didn't remember who I am, ish. And I did one mission and went, okay, I'm really, it's that really thing. I think when I compare them to some of the Marvel game, they're not quite hitting the mark.
Right. It's just a little bit off, and if it didn't have the Star Wars license, I really wouldn't care about this game at all. But it does have the Star Wars license, and I'm kind of just treating it like a Pokemon game where I'm like, ooh, I just collected Grand Moff Tarkin. Ooh, I just unlocked Qui-Gon Jinn.
It was funny.
I don't do anything with them.
Yeah, I fired up Star Wars Commander. I haven't played that game in years because it's still, and it's like, I've been wiped out. I've got 0 points. Like, okay, it remembered me everything, but I've been, completely wiped out over time. But so that's been kind of pretty cool on the mobile front. Did a couple hours on Marvel Heroes Omega the other day. Black Cat is out now. Didn't really it wasn't really a character which I've got to have this one. I'll probably wait till I get some splinters or something like that. I just don't really. She's always was a little bit of a side character from the cartoon to me, so it wasn't an essential kind of must play.
She's a decent character, at least in the PC version. I haven't played her on the console. She's a decent character if you need someone to make money fast, because she's got a number of abilities which give her Well, yeah. They give her money, and then they give her items that she pickpockets from the villains that you're fighting. Some of them actually are quite valuable. I think they sell for like 10,000 credits each and whatnot, which adds up.
Yeah. So I'm worked out what to do with credits in that game. It's like, just have one currency and just be done with it. That's all I ever look for is Eternity Splinters. That's the only thing I'm ever interested in.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But also, having finished Horizon Zero Dawn's main quest the other week, fired up Uncharted 4 again, because I was playing that. I got it for Christmas. I had Kingdom Hearts, and so that distracted me for a little bit. And then I got about halfway through the game, and then I remember, I think the Switch dropped, of which Zelda then completely distracted me, and I'm then going, right, okay, I finished Horizon, let's try and get Uncharted. So I've been playing Uncharted 4 for a couple hours each night, just reminds me of just how good that game is.
Yeah, I haven't played 4, and I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn in quite some time because I traded my copy in, but it really was a very good game. Obviously, I haven't played Breath of the Wild, so I can't compare it to that, but everyone says that if it hadn't come out at the same time as Breath of the Wild, it'd probably be up there as one of the games of the year.
Yeah. Now, Horizon Zero Dawn was great. The story was good. However, Breath of the Wild, there were so many times where I wanted to climb a cliff or climb over a building or jump over something, and it's like, I don't want to face that boss or that animal. I want to run around it, like I can do in Zelda, because I'm not powerful enough and I don't want to waste my time. So that did affect it, but yeah, I think sort of it's that feeling as well of like this, like a little bit of a downtime maybe between some of the games. There's not as many major releases. We're getting ready for the lineup. I'll be honest, Splatoon 2 has not kept my attention at all this week. The fact that I jumped back into Uncharted 4 after picking up Splatoon 2 it's just not quite hitting it for me. I don't know quite what it was. Probably something a bit fun just to pick up and have a blast at. But Splatoon 2 did not kind of, want me playing constantly that game. It's odd. I had high hopes for that game, and it just hasn't quite hit what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I haven't played it at all, so I can't really comment on it. I have seen that the Res TV channel, they've been talking about almost nothing but Splatoon, which is great. I'm glad that it's really kicked in with them. I see them, and they're looking for group, constantly asking for either Splatoon or Overwatch. So it's in very good company there alongside Overwatch. But not my type of game, but I can totally get why people are enjoying it and why it's so popular at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a good 2 hours the other day over at my in-laws, because that's the cool thing with the Switch. You can take it with you. And so was able to kind of go through some of the story mode and stuff. And it was kind of cool, but a couple hours a week was probably going to be enough for me. It's not like, maybe as well as that thing of that kind of game that I enjoy, that epic story. The fact that I'm talking about, having completed Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild this year, and now doing Uncharted 4, and playing for the Kingdom. I think I like that story-based driven gaming, and I think that's a strong thing for me.
Right, and I'm definitely kind of pushing more towards linear storytelling gaming, so less stuff like Horizon Zero Dawn, Breath of the Wild, etc. I will probably pick up where I left off with Uncharted 2 at some point. I have a bunch of games on my PlayStation that I really want to play. I've got Uncharted 2 to finish, Uncharted 3. I don't own 4, but I will get to it at some point. I've got The Last of Us. I've got Kingdom Hearts 1, 1.5, 2.5, 2.8. And I think I've even got Infamous on there, the superhero game that's not Injustice.
That's really good, that one.
Yeah, and I've got them all to play. But man, I hate that controller so much. Also, my PlayStation controller doesn't seem to want to hold a charge anymore, which is problematic.
It's that thing, I think sometimes... there are so many games coming out that we want to play. And there's also Just Cause 3 is going to be coming to PlayStation Plus. Probably might even be out by the time this episode goes up. I really enjoyed the first game, so I know I'm going to play that. And that's probably going to suck me in because, flying around on top of cars and blowing stuff up with rocket grenades and stuff. You can have so much fun in things like, things like Watchdog and Grand Theft Auto. I like those kind of games, you see. And that's where it will just draw me in. I know then... Sonic Mania coming up. This is another game I want to jump into, but I am dabbling all over the place with these different kind of experiences. But Uncharted 4 is the one that the minute right, that's the one I need to. Because also I like to kind of knuckle down, get to it, put 15, 20 hours in, tick the box, main story complete, game done. never return to it.
Yeah, and I've already played Just Cause 3. I own it on PC. It's a ton of fun, but it does, fall into that same Breath of the Wild category of, open world, very little direction. But sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you just want to walk into a town, attach some, grenades to the side of a tank and watch what happens. I think it's a great addition to PlayStation Plus, and I do want to, point this out. We have been kind of harsh with PlayStation Plus in the past. They haven't given us particularly great games, especially compared to Xbox Live. I think this past month, July, and the upcoming month of August, both have pretty solid lineups. So definitely some kudos to PlayStation or whoever manages the PlayStation Live freebies.
Yeah. In all honesty, having had the email this week saying your price is going up by £10 a year,
there's that too.
It's a little bit like, yeah, you are going to have to up your game, because I was bordering on the line of going, I'm getting nothing here. The games that were coming through was just like, meh. The last big game I played was Transformers from like October last year, where I actually completed the main story stuff. It was like getting a little bit like fed up of this kind of just generic rubbish. I mean, yeah, okay, some of these indie stuff here, they probably are very good, but if you've never heard of it, you instantly just kind of, 5 amazing indie titles that might sound great, but if you're restricted on time, you're not maybe going to put that same time into it. And I still think PlayStation Plus is at a point now where they have to do something. They have to change what they're doing, because Xbox Gold is just giving us so many more. I mean, my Xbox game digital library is massive, with loads of games, and it's like I just haven't had time to play them. But
yeah, it's not just a massive library; it's a massive library of games I actually want to play, which is a key component. It doesn't matter how many games I have if I don't want to play them.
No.
I'm still probably not going to renew my PlayStation Plus when it expires, but there's still plenty of time, Sony. Plenty of time to prove that I should continue paying you that annual fee, which admittedly doesn't add up to that much. It's only a handful of dollars per month, but you still have to justify it.
Yeah, I mean, there's been lots of reports of people one of them was chucking PlayStation Now titles and other bits and pieces. I think Xbox their backwards compatibility instantly boosts the option each month, so it always looks like it's cool. And I'm sure they have got to that point of then Sony are looking at it going, they are really delivering some big titles here that we are not matching.
And it's really funny. We've talked about this in the past. PlayStation and Sony are winning in just about every other area right now. The PlayStation is on top of the Xbox in just about everything except this. Yeah. Except the backwards compatibility and the quality of the freebie lineup in the paid-for program. Yeah. So, all right, yeah. Also, there's that whole, we're calling them freebies, but we are paying a monthly fee for them.
It is. I mean, this whole thing about it being lined up with online play, and you're paying to play. I don't really play online, so for me, the main reason I have it is for the freebies, or not freebies, for those games. And I only need 2 or 3 a year to make it worthwhile. So if I put, as far as I'm concerned, with Just Cause 3, if I end up putting 10, 15, 20 hours into that game and enjoying it, if I get another game this year that I put as much time into it, it's fine. I'm quite happy with that. But I think also Xbox has been doing very good because they've been chucking in quite a lot of Disney titles to kind of fill out my digital library, which has been helping boost it up a little bit. But there's quite a lot out at the moment, quite a lot to play. And I think we're just that thing of, they talk about these few months of everyone. I think there's a general consensus of a lot of people trying to just fill out their back catalogue, fill out a few before the real season kicks off in September.
Yeah, I mean, once September kicks around, once October comes around, the games that are coming out this year, it's going to be hard to find time for anything that's not a tier 1 title between Destiny 2, which I've decided I'm not going to pre-order based on my experiences in the beta. They weren't bad, but the game is definitely being tuned for an audience that's not me. I'll probably pick it up on sale either early next year or maybe around Christmas time. But between that, Battlefront 2, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Mario Odyssey, all sorts of these titles, anything that's not these titles is just going to get washed aside. Assassin's Creed and Shadow of War, Lord of the Rings Shadow of War, which is right now my most anticipated game of the next several months because I loved Shadow of Mordor so much.
Yeah, it's a lot out, so it does feel like I said, I mean, there is quite a lot to do, but I'm hoping as well, like, once I clear out, Uncharted 4 this week, get rid of that one, clear that one off. Because in some ways as well as that, there's so many big games and so many games now that this service thing, where there is no ending, that sometimes I like to tick a box and, it's like when you finish a box set or when you finish a movie and you move on to the next.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly the way things feel these days. What's the next best thing? Yeah. What's the next thing on the horizon? I mean, okay, I say these days, but honestly, it was always like that growing up. You'd see the trailers. When's The Lion King going to come out? I remember seeing trailers freaking year before that movie came out. Maybe not so much video games back then, unless you were subscribed to like Nintendo Power or Games Pro or whatever.
Master.
Games Master, is that what it was over there?
It was a little TV show. It was awful.
Oh, God. But yeah, I mean, sure, we as humans, we're always about anticipation. We're always about what's the next best thing.
It's always that thing you think as well. Like, you go to see a Marvel movie. You've been waiting for it for 2-3 years. The credits come up, right, what's next? I want to see what's happening there. Like, give me the next bit. I want some feeding for the next bit, please. Is
the end credit going to show off like a little bit from what we can expect from Avengers Infinity War or something like that? Yeah, there's definitely that. I've seen this now. We're done. Where's Star Wars 9? I just finished watching Star Wars 8. Where's Star Wars 9? And it's like, you gotta wait 2 years.
But even Horizon Zero Dawn got to the end of the credits. Out comes a little thing. Hello, number 2, please. That's that. They did their own little Marvel stinger at the end. It's like it's such a 101 now for setting up franchises. It sometimes doesn't work because the franchises bomb, but it does work very well for us.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Spider-Man: Homecoming had one of the best end credit scenes. Not because it was like a particularly good quality one, but just like that kind of tongue-in-cheek. You waited for this.
Yeah.
Little bit, which was great. The first time, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there was that little sort of stinger, obviously, as well, I think, for the Scorpion being the next villain.
Right, there was.
But there was that thing of, I remember just leaving it going, you do know we got Infinity War coming up. That I needed something a little bit more. I'm like, 4 is really going to have to hammer home what's going on, and it doesn't look like it's going to,
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it definitely feels like, and that wasn't even completely unintentional. It was that thing as well of, it's like feeling like it's going to get us ready for it. But yeah, lots of stuff.
I suspect that Thor Ragnarok will lead directly into Avengers Infinity War. Like, it's probably one of those things where it's going to end, and then Infinity War will pick up.
Well, Black Panther, I don't see how Black Panther can really do that. It doesn't seem to make any. How are they going to be able to connect it?
And it probably won't. No. Honestly, there'll probably be a couple of nods to it. We'll probably see Bucky, be de-cryoized, de-thawed, but that'll probably be it. I think Thor is really going to be the one that sets up Infinity War.
But on that note, guys, what have you been playing? What are you doing? Are you in the same boat as us, or are you just running around killing salmon in Splatoon, or just loving it, Destiny? I'd love to know what you guys are playing as well. As per usual, you can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on different audio platforms such as iTunes. You can also check us out over at DisKingdom.com. We are giving away a $20 gift certificate as well, so you can find information as well on DisKingdom.com as well on that. James, where can they find you?
You can find me heroiclegacy.com.
And on that, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon. Later.